Just a short vid on delusional shills that absolutely prove to you they're not being delusional. They're just shills. Now, I use that word very rarely. I normally just use it as an insult, like calling someone a commie or a Nazi or whatever. I don't really mean it because these words have lost their meanings. I don't use the words lightly today. Truth in You is a YouTube channel that also goes around as a T as in T for two, I as in the eyeball, and you as in sheeple. TIU, aka Truth in You, going around typing in RU, which is the domain name for Russia, by the way. Collusion joke. And types out stuff, are you a Christian, are you a patriot, are you a gun grabber, and that sort of thing. Yelling this at me, NSERV, and other people who are very obviously not gun grabbers and are in favor of our right to keep and bear arms. Yes, NSERV came out of the closet. And it doesn't matter how obvious this contrarianism is. He's going to keep doing this because that way you're on the red list, the red flag list. I have YouTube videos I've posted where I insult Adolf Hitler's memory or nightmare. I have videos where I show you how to make every goddamn gun. If you just watch the videos or just ignore the video and just read the links below, 90% of the video content, the description below me, includes links to how to build literally every fucking kind of gun. So of course he says, are you a gun grabber? It doesn't matter what my answer is going to be. He's already come here with the conclusion that he's going to say the exact opposite of what I say, so he can keep promoting his channel and get his name in lights like this. He or she, I don't care. I'm not presuming your attack helicopter wattage here. No, none of those words go together. It's just a joke. But let's get this done. Is this person literally trying to make you look like a nutcase that shouldn't be allowed to have a gun? Yes. The same as me telling you I don't want anyone to have the right to keep and bear arms, because it's not clearly done in the Constitution. It was only really, actually, literally acknowledged begrudgingly by our government in 2008 or 2006, depending on what time date stamp you look at. No, really. It's never been what it should be. Me telling you, I'm in favor of you losing your right to keep and bear arms because there's a fence post over here with the correct diameter for a shotgun. These are stupid rules, pro and con. Both sides. So what do you have on the internet? Drama cunts. They're not even drama whores. They start arguments. That's their deal. These are the kind of people that every one of you would respond to if they weren't just being a 4chan troll acting like an 8-year-old, which is what the Truth in Use channel is actually doing. He's just trolling. By the way, I am saying at the 3-minute mark he's just trolling. He doesn't mean any of this stuff. He's not actually accusing me or NSERV or anybody else of being gun grabbers. He knows for a fact neither of us are. All doubt was removed when NSERV and I got our hangout shot down because of that. There's an agenda out there. There are gun grabbers, but they have a problem, and it's not that little thing called the Constitution, because that's an amendment. It didn't happen as part of the original founding fathers or fondling fathers assertion. It was in one state, but it really wasn't an amendment done by the forefathers in the framing of the Constitution. This happened later. You can look up when the Second Amendment was actually added in. It's an afterthought. And again, it was only really begrudgingly acknowledged because they didn't have a choice. Because eventually a judge is sitting there, yes, it applies to individuals' rights to protect themselves. I don't give a fuck if it actually says it, that's what it means now. Because a judge said so. It has nothing to do with the Founding Fathers. It has to do with one or two justices in a Supreme Court in 2006 or 2008, again, depending on where you look it up. It was stated originally that way and then affirmed later, because it's a de facto rule. In the United States, we assume that you have the right to protect yourself, and being excluded from doing so with a gun has never been acceptable. You can't tell a person, oh, well, you have a gun, you can't use it. That's like saying you can't use a potato to protect yourself. It's kind of stupid. But by saying, no, it really should apply, or will now apply because the decision has been made, to say, yes, you can have a gun strictly for self-protection. for self-defense, which seems very obvious. That's why it was so obvious that it should be done that way. Eventually, even the court system has to say, yes, you have a right to protect yourself, and excluding guns as being some specific forbidden fruit when you can do all sorts of other things with it is dumb. That's like saying a baseball bat that can be used for sporting purposes, I'm using that term, can't be used to defend yourself. Yes, you can. You can carry an attitude adjuster in your car. I use it for making sure that the radiator behaves itself. Look, none of the people this guy ever fucks with about being a gun grabber ever are. He does it to fuck with them to get a response. He does it because he needs to. He's doing trolling behavior. But let's assume for a second that truth in you, or TIU, spelled out in a pseudo-clever way, that you're on my side of the street reusing, phonetic punctuation. But now, let's assume he's not really trolling. Let's assume he really believes what he's saying. That he goes to a YouTube channel that literally explains to you, one video at a time, each component, each stage of evolution for making a pump-action shotgun that fires 80 caliber Nitro Express goddamn elephant gun bullets if you want, all the way down to 22 caliber, which is really 410 gauge, but it's 22.5 caliber. Me throwing this shit around like a monkey with a cage full of poop. I'm a gun grabber. And, NSERB has to be a gun grabber, even though he honestly misses being able to go out and shoot plink cans and maybe go hunting. Yeah, we're all gun grabbers. He isn't actually harassing real gun grabbers. I guarantee you he's not. But let's assume that he's just trolling people to get them to think a bit. Let's say that. Okay. But now let's not assume that. Let's stop assuming that Truth in You, who overtly goes out of his way to show that he's not only assuming the worst about a person, like a really bad cop that should be fired out of a cannon, he's literally going to people who have explicitly said they're against any kind of gun confiscation or even gun registration. I think gun registration might be usable. And yeah, if they're going to take our guns from us, they should pay us, because I'm going to be making a bunch of $7 shotguns and getting $100 a pop out of them. I swear to God, I'll do it. I will do it so fast. Holy shit, that'll be a field day. But this person going around obviously saying the precise opposite of reality to get a reaction out of people. That's a troll. But let's assume that one of those isn't really active. Let's assume Truth in You really is saying something Truth in You believes should be said for whatever twisted reason. Now, the obvious response he's waiting for is, I'm not against gun rights. I'm not in favor of gun confiscation or registration, because I don't think they'll work, and I wouldn't do it. So he says, he wants gun control. It's obvious anymore. You showed up to me when we were talking about just ballistics and saying this shit. You never thought any of this about him or me. Are you a gun grabber? UPC bro? The reason that character on South Park is so infuriating, even to people who want political correctness, is because he represents the worst in people who want something that they think is good in the world. I'm a bicycle advocate because I ride a bike all the time. I've been hit by a car, but I've only well, I've been hit a couple of times, but this time it was really an actual accident. I didn't see you because the guy literally didn't see me. The intersection is horribly designed. It was literally just a bad city planning mistake. That's it. It really is that straightforward. And yes, that particular intersection does have the ability, if someone wants to do it, they sell their hunk of dirt and the other person buys that hunk of dirt and lets the area here, we can actually have an intersection there that'll work a little better, but it's still going to have accidents every freaking day. Now, I swear to God, there's an accident almost every day there. Sometimes during the year, it's 2. But this guy doing the UPC bro, deliberately aggravating behavior, constantly repeating the same shit. Yeah, I know what you are, but you are. Has anybody watched watch the Simpsons episode where the guy constantly mutters under his breath at Marge Simpson? Oh yeah, but you eat children, or whatever he's saying. It doesn't matter what he's saying. He's just muttering to get in there and heckle. So, Truth in You, are you a heckler? Put your face on camera. He's done it before. He, she, it, they. He, shit, they. Yeah, it's a bad joke, but let's just go on. Put it on camera whether or not you're just trolling and fucking with people. Or we can assume you're a troll working for the anti-gun lobby. And we can keep posting it on your channel until you stop doing this cunt-like behavior. Now, I want to point out to the YouTube bot police. UPC, bro? No, I'm not. You violating rules? No, I'm not. Someone shows up on other people's channels and talks shit. They get shit back. This is how reality works. But does this actually accomplish anything? No. Neither does me cleaning out the cracks that were permanently installed in it in my computer keyboard that annoy me because it collects dirt. We're just fidgeting and futzing here. Just picking our noses instead of our butts. But does this accomplish anything? When you get somebody who does a Second Amendment, name that amendment audit, where they stand there and basically fuck with people, are they actually accomplishing anything? The answer is fuck no, of course not. But they sure are making everybody look like shit on his side because they're deliberately aggravating people to get a reaction. They're trolling. Trolling for Jesus. And all of us do this. I mean, I do it in my videos by having the titles be so incendiary. Because I'm trying to get a person who's looking for specific information to find an opposing view and maybe listen. So what did this person accomplish by showing up repeatedly while myself and other people, it was actually mostly someone else, were on camera talking about the subject matter? Nothing. What did this person prove? The people who are in favor of gun rights or NRAers, NRAers, who scream, I'm a Christian patriot, sovereign citizen, all this other shit. He even talks about, quoting the Bible. I bet he misquotes it, right? Does he misquote it? Does he want me to go watch his sermons and see if he can actually pronounce the words correctly and be a pedantic shit? No. Do I believe that Truth in You would misquote the Bible and become the devil himself to win a fucking argument on the internet? Yes, I do now. You know damn good and well, I'm talking to you. You know damn good and well that you're posting this only on channels that are not saying these things. You know that for a fact. That is the purest form of demonic possession you can have. I'm talking to Christians now. I've hung out with enough of you, I know exactly what the words are and I can do all the buzzwords, but I'm saying this directly. Someone who says that on a day like this, that looks like that this is the darkest, most windy, nasty day in the history of Portland, saying something obviously not true like that, do you believe for even a second that should be taken either as a joke and trolling behavior, or if you're a Christian, you know this, you're told this, that is one of the many signs of demonic possession. A person who will say the opposite of what is true to deliberately fuck with people to get a reaction out of it. It's a manipulation technique. It isn't actually a sign of demonic possession, obviously, because there is no devil. There's just us on this planet, people trying to be the devil. Yeah, I'm talking to his viewers if they're watching. I'm going to put his name of the channel, both of them in here. I want you to listen for a fucking second. Does this accomplish anything? Or are you rooting him on because he's just fucking with those stupid libtards? I'm a gun rights activist libtard. Fucking learn. It's whether or not I'd like to have the ability to defend myself. Or just shoot targets. Or just learn how they work. Or better yet, the entire purpose of some of the videos I post. Making sure that if you want to make a gun, you do it in such a way that you hurt literally no one. I don't want anyone hurt with a gun unless they're hurting someone else. I mean, obviously, if you're going to use a gun for self-defense or defending another person, the gun should be able to hurt them. At bare minimum, make them leave and stop. At worst case, permanently stop them. Forever sleep. Okay? No matter what YouTube likes saying, that's really what's going on here. But that's a last resort. But the first resort, if you're going to make a gun, is make sure that it doesn't blow up in your hands. That it doesn't kill your kid, because properly make it to where it would be something a kid would have to learn how to use rather than accidentally being able to set off. I show people how to do this safely, something that's inherently unsafe. And the government and the gun grabbers want to make sure that every video you see on YouTube shows you that you can blow yourself away and it's dangerous. I take that fear away by replacing it with knowledge. What is this fucker accomplishing? So here's the challenge to Truth in You. Post a YouTube video explaining to people the diameters used to make a 12-gauge shotgun out of metal pipe and the easiest way to make it impossible to detect and easily stored. First. Next, nothing else in the video. No commentary, no Bible thumping, no claiming to be a patriot or Christian, no virtue signaling, which is what it is. Stop being an SJW little shit. grow the fuck up. Or maybe he's just trolling. Either way, the challenge is the same. Let's see if he does it.